Now, I'm sure that we will certainly learn more about this specific thing, just because it's only our second one today. But I started mentioning earlier that I think to a large extent it's just to be nice and relaxed as well. We've got a nice little patch of shade here. We've set up a bit of net above us, and you can see the guys in the control room. You can see the wildlife happening at the waterhole at the moment. There's two water buck running past, and in the end it might not be always chatting. I might not always be busy talking or texting, and whoever else might be doing it. Quite often it might just be nice and relaxed, and we just enjoy the view with you. And then as things come along, we have a look at them. This this water buck is still sniffing. Obviously there's something on the breeze that she's finding interesting. Look at that. And there's a warthog as well. Preempted it by speaking incorrectly. What I'm hoping for is that, if we can have a look at that warthog just now, I'm hoping it might have a wallow. It looks like the same one from earlier. Earlier it came down for a drink. Yeah, it's going to have a wallow. Hey! You can let me disappear a little bit if you want. Ah,
no, completely.
That was quick. Oh, this is going to be fun. I mean, I feel a bit cool already just looking at it. As obviously, there's no need to explain more than just to say that feels good. Yeah. That's the main reason why that warthog's doing that, is it feels nice. Bit of a scratch against the mud, and also on a slightly more personal level, I'm quite excited to see if the warthogs start using. There's this big rock that I carried out there the other day, which is just back that way of the waterhole now, and I'm sure the warthogs quite soon will realize that it's a perfect rock. I tried to pick one, it was the biggest one there, but it's just the right size that a warthog can sort of lay across it quite nicely and get the belly on there and have a good scratch. So it'll be interesting to see when they start using that. Maybe today. Let's catch up with a few things here again. Davy Crockett hat. Yeah. I used to know a couple of jokes about a Davy Crockett hat. The bushwalk, and again, not to go into it too much now, but it will be live, so it won't be like the bits. It will be something that is, first of all, I think, Graham, you can correct me again, but it's the first time in history, eh?
Yes.
First time in history ever that you'll be going on a live walk in the bush, so just to be part of that from that point of view is quite exciting. But in the end, just being in the bush and walking around and looking at things is very exciting, and I'm sure you will all enjoy it with us out there as well. But not too much about that for now. We'll learn more about that as we do that. But certainly something I'm very excited about. I know Graham has been excited about for 10 years plus, and everyone else as well. Antelope bulls, can they be dangerous? Claire's just asking. Typically not. It's always difficult to say, things aren't dangerous. I'm trying to think of a few examples. I know of a guy called, a fantastic guy that I spent some time with in Kenya, Johnny Baxendale, who actually spent some time as a youngster with George Adamson and the Lions and Elsa and all that. So he'd been in what could be perceived as dangerous environments quite a lot. And the most dangerous encounter he ever had with an animal was a blue wildebeest that got hold of him and chucked him about 6 or 8 meters through the air. So you can never say a warthog, if it gets cornered enough and it gets afraid and it runs at you, it can hurt you. Antelope bulls occasionally can be, maybe during the main part of rut season. Bushbuck, for instance, if you back in the hunting days, if you injured and wounded a bushbuck, they can become very dangerous. But the realistic answer, Claire, is no. If you're just walking around the bush and you're not threatening things, you're not going to get attacked by an antelope. But you can, of course, the situation can make it dangerous, and this is why it's very important to always keep your wits about you and stay calm in the bush as well. A very important part is just to walk around and stay calm and relaxed and in tune with what's going on around you, rather than be there like a visitor, because then you could misunderstand things. The reason I say that is on a few occasions, I remember once I walked with a friend of mine, Steve, and we found a red hartebeest, which is an antelope we don't get here, but similar to a wildebeest, and it was sleeping. It was midsummer, so sometimes animals get a lot of ticks in their ears and it hampers their hearing a bit, and we walked up right to the antelope. We thought it was dead. And literally when we virtually poked it, we were standing next to it, got a fright and jumped up and ran. So again, it wasn't going to attack us, but if you give it a fright in the wrong way then, and you stand in the way, it could run over you. So the bush, when you're walking around, really isn't dangerous, and we'll talk about this a lot more on the walks. If you consider yourself as part of the environment, which I certainly do, and all of us should, we're all part of nature, and you keep relaxed and calm about what's going on, it's always a fascinating experience, and you will always know what to do relative to other animals, as long as you all give each other. If you see a warthog up close, they've got these great big calluses on that part where the leg bends when they're walking like that. Just a question from Lisbeth. Certainly the plan is to have a chat every day, and we'll see how it goes, but I do know that's the plan, and hopefully this will be here every day for a very long time as it develops more and more. Oh, thanks Emma. She's saying the warthog already rubbed his belly on the rock yesterday. It's if we could have a look just now, Pt.3, not now, but somewhere in the next bit of that rock, which is sort of to the left of the waterhole by those little, there's a couple of little straggly sticks or bushes growing there. And another warthog, young waterbuck. You can see the horns just starting to grow out. It's about a year old. Guys, I've never had just a question from Emma there. Out on drive, I've never had something dangerous drop into the car, like a snake or a leopard or so. What I have though, yeah, just down there, let's just see that rock quickly. Oh yeah, it's been rubbed on already. You can see a bit of mud on it. That's the log. The rock is just down and right. Perfect. Yeah, I think quite soon this rock will be covered in mud, and we spoke about it last night jokingly around the fire that we can make this our weather rock as well. So in the mornings maybe we can do a quick weather report, walk out there and touch the rock. If it's already warm, we know it's going to be a very hot day. If it's wet, we know it's raining obviously, or a warthog has just been there. And on the odd occasion that it maybe is white, we'll be aware of the fact that it's snowing. But for now it's just a good rubbing post for the warthogs. Just to come back to anything falling into the car, while I'm being silly there, is never had anything fall into the car big and dangerous like that, but obviously over time I've had a variety of things like, the most annoying probably, you get these little caterpillars that make you itch. I'm sure you get variations of them in the States as well. It's a fairly good protective measure that a lot of caterpillars has, and over time I've had a few of those fall into. The worst was once when a bunch of them fell into my back on drive actually. Some of you might remember the drive. And my whole neck and my back itself and down my side and my arm, everything just started swelling up a little bit. Not dangerous in a sort of a life-threatening way, but certainly not pleasant.
So you mean Alex didn't put any snakes in? Just
no,
run out and grab them?
No, we don't. Well, partly we don't catch things just because it's, it's a bit intrusive to be caught. I'd hate it if something came along and grabbed me down the head and caught me, but well, it depends, I guess. But yeah, let's have another look at some of the chats here. Nice animal activity. I must say it's nice to have the animal activity around the pan, and more and more I think this chat will revolve around what is happening at the pan. What bird is that behind? I see a bird walking around there as well, maybe another grey lory. Just behind the young waterbuck male there. Oh, it's a starling. Birchall starling. Even just from the walk and the way it runs, it's almost recognizable. Compare the behavior, if you look at the general animal behavior compared to that impala earlier. Obviously the starling has got the benefit of being able to fly away, but also very carefully approaches the edge of the water, just looking around. Obviously it also has the secondary benefit of being able to sometimes catch a bit of food when it's around the water. And thirdly, it just keeps the Piwe and Pit running around after it. Quick little guy sometimes. There it is. You can still see the reflection of the waterbuck there as well. I must get used to this.